All right. So for the sake of time, we will get started. We'll let people trickle in as as time passes. There's people in the waiting room right now. So yeah, my name is Jordan. I'm the head of business for State Style. I'm excited to have this open session today because Klaytn is one of our key partners on both the State Style and the Code States team. We have a very special guest today from Klaytn, who's so willing to share his time with us. He's the lead of core developers over at Klaytn, and he's going to talk a little bit about the metaverse, the initiatives that Klaytn is going on. And yeah, I'm excited for everyone to be here. And there will be a recording of this session as well that will follow up for anyone who's missed it. So watch out for that. But Colin, feel free to introduce yourself.
Okay, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. And let's get started on my presentation. So anyway, thank you for introduction. And in this session, I want to talk about Klaytn, the Metaverse blockchain for all. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Junghyun Kim, and you can call me Colin. Colin is my nickname. And I was joined in Samsung Electronics in 2016, and I was developing a Tizen developer experience and neural network runtime. And then I joined Groundx and jumped into the blockchain industry in 2018. And I developed many different things like core protocol, API service, and applications like flip drops and crypto space. And now I'm joined Krust Universe this year, and I'm currently keep developing Klaytn blockchain core protocol. So maybe you guys know or not about Klaytn, so I want to introduce Klaytn a little more. So basically, there are some Korean characters here, but you can understand all the images here. So we have many terminologies that describes Klaytn's worldview. So in the base layer, we have magma. And as you can see, Klaytn logo is kind of color of orange and red. And this means kind of magma's color. And on top of the magma, we have crust. Crust is a little kind of 껍질 in Korean and slight layer that covers magma. And on top of crust, we have Groundx, is another company name that developed Klaytn first. And on top of Groundx, we have Klaytn. Klaytn is composed of K plus clay plus stone. So clay and stones on top of Groundx. And with the Klaytn, we have a tree named Cypress. This is a name of our mainnet. And we have two basic components of our ecosystem called Kaikas and Caver. Kaikas comes from god of wind in some myths. And Caver comes from a gentle breeze in the Hebrides. So as you can see, this is kind of worldview, and all the terminologies are somehow connected. And on the right-hand side, we are making kind of characters to protect some parts of our Cypress tree and this whole world. So core developers, governance council members, ecosystem developers, and service providers, and also holders. So we are making this kind of story, and we will make a webtoon and some characters, and those characters will be issued as NFTs. So in this near future, we can introduce how our NFT are minted or how this kind of characters can be used. So this is a kind of Klaytn story. I hope you guys like this. Yeah, and I want to talk about why Klaytn is good. So there are some strong points of Klaytn. Basically, you can divide two big components like technology and business. In the technology side, we have also two metrics called performance and functionality. In terms of performance, our transaction latency is about 2 seconds. This is not just block generation time. We measured the transaction latency by sending a transaction and wait until we got a receipt. So we measure this transaction latency for some long amount of time, and we got average of 2 seconds of transaction latency. And also, when we launch the mainnet, we measured real TPS based on the real network. So we run our own main network, and then we measured the transaction latency by submitting many transactions onto the network. And on average, we got 4,000 TPS. And in terms of functionality, we have two basic features like fee delegation and account key update. So if you want to use Klaytn, then you don't need to think about meta transactions or gas station or what else. You can just send a fee delegation transaction, then you can charge your fee to the fee payer instead of transaction sender. And also you can change our private key. If you accidentally expose your private key, then you can change your private key. And also we support many different permissions of the private key, so you can increase your security of your account key. And in terms of business side, as you all know, I think we are backed by Kakao, so we have already stable business and development things. So Klaytn can be keep developing our blockchain protocol, and also we can keep running our business. Also, you guys all know about Kakao has very big Korean market dominance. So you can, if you want to join this Korean market, then we can also support if you want to make our kind of partnership with Klaytn. And also Kakao is kind of big, successful company in Web2 industry. So we have many different risk management things like regulation issues and other things in South Korea. So if you want to jump into blockchain industry in South Korea, and you're a kind of big Web2 company, then you can consult us about how you can handle those kinds of risks when you jump into blockchain industry in South Korea. Yeah, and we measure the transaction latency, and you can check out this. Actually, I shared this slide to the organizers, so you can get a link of this presentation. And as you can see, our Medium article, we published already, and you can check our transaction latency compared to other blockchains. So as you can see, Klaytn is the lowest transaction latency on average. It's about 2.112 seconds of transaction latency, and you can see compared to others. The lowest, second lowest one is near, and it's about 3.1 or 2 seconds. So it has 1 second gap between the Klaytn and the second lowest transaction latency blockchain platform. And also one of the another important thing is stability. So when you think about this, when you send a transaction, this time you got, for example, 2 seconds, and next time you gotta receive in 5 or 10 seconds, then it's not easy to expect how long does it take, right? So transaction latency should be somehow stabilized. So the first above the graph is Klaytn. As you can see, it's about 1 or 2 or 3 seconds of latency, and there are some little outliers. But other blockchain platforms in the below chart, you can see the times are very different in the every transaction. So we measure this transaction latency about every minutes. Then, yeah, you can see just the stability of Klaytn's blockchain platform. So why I'm introducing the transaction latency and its stability? Because it can give better usability. Like I discussed a little bit before, when you need to expect how long does it take when you action, I don't know, like, you want to send some clay to your friends, and you can expect how long does it take. Then it can give better usability. But what if you cannot expect how long does it take? For example, you need to about 5 or 10 seconds this time, and later you need to 10 or 11 seconds, then you don't know how long does it wait, right? So in the case, the usability would be not easy to get. So Klaytn has better usability in terms of transition latency and its stability. So I think this one is a more important thing to build a metaverse, because in the metaverse you can do many actions, and in this action you need to expect how long does it take, right? It's kind of real-time actions and interactions between players. So you need to expect how long does it take. Yeah, and in the previous until the previous slide, actually, I'm talking about what we've done before when we launched the mainnet. And since this year, we are trying to focus the metaverse blockchain for all in terms of Klaytn 2.0. So in tech side, Klaytn 2.0 have 4 bullets like here. And first one is 1 second finality. As I said before, the transaction latency on average is about 2 seconds, but we in Klaytn, a block is generated in every second. This is already done before, and second one is Ethereum equivalence. So since the first quarter of this year, we follow up all the Ethereum APIs and EVM compatibility. So nowadays, you can easily use Klaytn tools. I mean, Ethereum tools on Klaytn as they are. You don't need to change anything. You just use Klaytn ecosystem tools on Klaytn. If you guys are not working well with these Ethereum tools, then just let us know. We can check and what kind of problem we have. And those first two bullets are already achieved, and we have remaining 2 more items like metaverse packages and towards decentralization. So metaverse package is in this metaverse package we want to provide open source packages to metaverse builders. So there are so many things like, for example, we are currently making service chain is kind of a side chain of Ethereum in Ethereum terminology, and also we're making open source packages like wallets and chain explorers, DEXs, and marketplaces, whatever you want to build a metaverse. So you want to make a metaverse service, then actually you just want to use blockchain as a tool to build a metaverse. So you don't need to deep knowledge about blockchain, right? So in this case, you can use our open source packages to build your metaverse. And the last one is towards decentralization. So currently we are some centralization points. So we want to transfer more rights to GC and holders so that we can make more decentralization governance. So next 2 items we are now currently focusing on to make it happen. So let's talk about a little bit more about multi-metaverse with databases and blockchain. So actually, there's no single metaverse, like there's no single blockchain in the whole world, right? So we can think about multi-metaverse systems. And in this multi-metaverse, you can implement their own databases using real database like MySQL or Oracle. And also you can use this database layer with blockchain. So when you do like this, then the metaverse systems can be really isolated, and it's not easy to make some kind of interaction between the metaverse systems. So in this case, for example, if you transfer your assets from this metaverse to that metaverse, it's not easy. They need to some kind of collaboration to make an interface between the metaverse systems. What if you want to implement blockchain on top of blockchain? You need to make a multi-metaverse system. then it's very easy to communicate between the metaverse systems. So we will talk about a little bit more use cases of the metaverse, multi-metaverse system with the blockchain. So basic components of blockchain is are FT and NFT, right? So in terms of FT case, it's very easy and easily exchangeable among those kind of metaverse. Anyway, each metaverse should have their own economic system, so they need to have their own currency or own fungible token. So to communicate, to exchange the fungible tokens between two metaverses, we have only the implemented components called DEX, decentralized exchange. So with the DEX, then it's very easy to exchange tokens between different metaverse. So when you jump into the first metaverse and you can use, you can play in the metaverse systems with this token, then if you're kind of bored and you want to change another metaverse, then you can take out your assets and change your token to another metaverse, then you can easily onboard on the metaverse with the values of the previous metaverse. I think it's very good use cases between the metaverse. And what about NFT cases? It's really more complicated, I think, because items, it's not easy to transfer over between the metaverse. For example, when you do play first metaverse here, the image is from another world, which is recently showing the Klaytn Universe. And then second metaverse is VR chat, and third metaverse is Klaytn Museum on Zap. And if you wanna transfer your item from the first metaverse and second metaverse, then you cannot easily imagine the value can be guaranteed. For example, if you have an item worth of $10 in first metaverse, if you transfer this item to another metaverse, then you cannot guarantee this value in a second metaverse. Also, their metaverses are very different presentation of visualization. So, for example, the first and second metaverse in this slide are 3D, but third metaverse is kind of 2D. So, if you have an item in 3D metaverse, then it's not easy to show how it shows in the 2D metaverse. So there are two difficulties in terms of NFT. First one is value, and second one is presentation or visualization. So exchanging item between metaverse is not easy. So we are thinking about different things like characters or avatars. So when we define a new type of NFT, and in this NFT, we have predefined motion images in 3D or 2D. And then with this NFT, you can enter any metaverse and you can change your avatar or your character with this NFT. We already defined motion images, this NFT, so it's very easy to use. So we are talking to many other partners who are building metaverse systems, and we kind of make real use cases with this NFT standard. So just stay tuned. We are doing this kind of work. Yeah, this is Klaytn's story, and as I said that before, what Klaytn is, and we are making Magma, Krust, GroundX, Klaytn, and Cypress. With this kind of world view, we are making kind of webtoon, and there are some characters like here, like this. So let's stay tuned how it gonna work. And not just only for the blockchain, DEXs, and NFT exchanges, but we are also making other open source metaverse packages like this, customized L2 solutions called service chains and SDKs and other things. So you can check out more details at Klaytn.Foundation. So we are currently making more packages or services for Metaverse builders. So we hope that maybe end of this year, you can use all the tools together so that you can easily build your own Metaverse with this open source packages. Yeah. Okay. So I've discussed all the things we are currently doing on and what's next with the Klaytn. So in terms of development, we are focusing those things in this year. The first one is governance mechanism. As I told you before, we are going to decentralization a little bit more. So we are currently changing our governance mechanism so that more rights can be transferred to GC members and holders. And also the storage reduction is kind of big problem of this blockchain industry. So we are trying to implement another mechanism called state pruning to reduce the storage reduction, storage. And third one is Metaverse package, and I discussed a lot of this one. And the fourth one is practical trustless interchain bridge solution with zero knowledge proof. So we have already kind of solution for our service chain. We need to make a interchain bridge, trustless interchange bridge between our mainnet and service chains. So we are currently researching how it can be worked with our service chains together. And we wanna build more developer community stronger. So that's why I'm here to talk about what Klaytn is and what other things with the Klaytn. I will, and some next slides, I will show you some QR codes so you can just jump into our any communities like this Discord channel or forum. So let's build together. We have core protocol, and this is a link of our Klaytn core protocol. We are currently implementing all the things into this repository. We don't have any private repository for the implementation, so you can check how the how the milestone is we are making on, and how the code change and discussion is currently doing with this Klaytn core protocol. So you just visit this URL and you can check how our discussion is going on in this repository. And second one is ecosystem, and we have lots of things to build together. So you can check our awesome Klaytn repository so that all the development resources you can see. And the third link here, the second link in this ecosystem part here, you can check what kind of tools we wanna make more. So yeah. So you can check what kind of things we wanna make more, and also you can jump into our task list and you can build together if you want. And we have also
I shared the link as well. I shared the links for everyone in the chat.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, and we also have fundings like KIR and KGF, two different kinds of funds. And KIR is fully open and everyone can apply for the ecosystem improvement. And KGF is currently kind of, we don't have any public links to you can submit, but sooner or later we can make a link in our Klaytn Foundation website, and you can also submit your application to KGF. This slide shows our whole ecosystem dev stack. There are many things already done, and also we are making on more components. I cannot explain all the things here, but I just want to emphasize some of things here. MetaMask Snap will be done maybe this or next month, and we are also planning more wallets integrated with Klaytn, like Ledger Nano and Gnosis Safe. And also we are making Klaytn open source wallet. And Oracle Chainlink is going to be integrated soon. Actually, Baobab is already integrated in Cypress, integration is working on, and maybe this or next month, Chainlink will be integrated with the Cypress, our mainnet. And Wormhole is already integrated, so you can bridge your any assets to other blockchains like Ethereum or Solana, whatever you want. And there are also other bridges, as you can see here, Orbit, Snaps, Seller. So and many other things are joined really soon, but we will announce if those things are coming on. Yeah, and we have social channels for developers. The first one is Discord, and second one Klaytn Forum, and third one is a little bit different, but I'm not sure how many Koreans are here, but I'm making a kind of meetup for people in South Korea. So this is kind of offline meetup and running in Korean language. So if you're Korean developers, then just join here and we can discuss all other things. This is not just for the Klaytn. We are talking about other blockchains together, like other Solana or Hashgraph, whatever you want. So just jump into the this link and you can attend this offline developer meetup. And another important announcement, maybe next Monday, we are running a global hackathon for Klaytn named Clay Makers. So maybe my background there, QR code here, but also in this slide, you can find QR code. Just scan it and what kind of topics we have and the schedule. So I know a little bit more about Klaytn makers. So you can check the URL here, and we have 5 tracks: Klaytn Core Plus, Metaverse plus NFTs, DAO, FIs, and public goods. You can find your interests, and you can also submit your project, and you can get a reward if you got, yeah. And we have a schedule like here. We will kick off our global hackathon next month, next Monday, and the final submission date is September 13th. And for this hackathon, we are running many workshops, and there are many schedules. You can check out these schedules in our Klaytn Clay Makers page, and this will be published on YouTube channel on other channels together. So like this, you can jump into the right time, or you can also see those videos after the recording. So I think I've spent about 30 minutes, and actually I asked before there could be good if we have some kind of hands-on sessions. So I think you can do some hands dirty, but before going on, I think if you have any questions, then just let me know. I'm looking at our chatting channels. So if you have any questions, then write down here, or you can turn on your mic and let me know. I will wait 1 minute and then move on to the next topic. Oh, maybe or Jordan, can you help Gabe? Maybe you can write down your question in this chat.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for presenting, Colin. This has been super helpful. I had a question about, in terms of developer resources, specific to things like, NFTs or DeFi, kind of like with the theme, like different types of themes. Where's the best place to find those types of resources?
I think we have Klaytn docs. You can find all information here. Also, I shared before, there are also on Klaytn page. You can find all development resources with this one. Also, we have a Klaytn improvement proposal. In this proposal, you can find our own token standard like KF7, which is similar to ERC20, and KFP17, which is similar to ERC721. So KFP37, which is similar to ERC1155, but it's a little bit different standard. So for the NFT, you can check KFP17 or 37, and there are some implementations, examples of implementation with this awesome Klaytn repository.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you. That's perfect.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? Okay, then are you ready to get your hand dirty? I think we have 21 participants, and except the organizers and me, and we have around 17 people here. So I think it's very good to do hands-on session. So I think you guys all from development side, I think, but if you don't have any development experiences, just see how it works. So it's very easy thing, I think. And we just want to transition latency measurement. So I told you before, we measured many, transition latencies on many other blockchain platforms. So with this hands-on session, I just want to check 2 chains, Klaytn and Solana. And I will share my screen together. Maybe you can check out this slide link. I mean, maybe organizers already share this slide link. Maybe. Oh, it's not right. Okay, I think I will share my. This is my slide, and actually I have only one screen, so yeah.
I shared the link as well right above the message for everyone to check out. Might just help maybe if you could walk through it, or if you want to select, if someone wants to come up and share their screen, and we can walk through it together as well. So if anyone wants to come up to the stage and kind of volunteer to be a use case for everyone else, we can call in here, can walk you through the task.
For the first time, I think I will walk through all the things here. Then I can also share my screen and how it works, my real live coding, not actual coding, live execution of this one. So you can check out the link repository, and we will do 2 things, Klaytn and Solana, for international latency measurement. So just jump into the okay, I think anyway, if you check that link repository, then you can see many other blockchain platforms and directories, and the first one is Klaytn. So you just write down npm install and copy the environment variables, and then we just change those things. Actually, we already updated our code repository there, so you don't need to change anything. Actually, they're already changed like this. So in this environment, if you leave empty private key and S3 bucket, then you can make this code generates the private key for the first time, and then you just copy this private key into the environment variable file. So I will walk through first, and I will also show how it works. So for the first time, when you execute this source code, then you can see kind of this log. So private key is not defined, so you need to use this private key and just copy this one in the environment file. And also you can get test clay with this faucet. And your Klaytn address based on this private key, like here. So when you jump into this URL, then you can copy and paste this Klaytn address, and you can get some clay, test clay, to run this execution. So get test clay first, and copy and paste this private key into the env file. And then you can execute once again, then you can check the this kind of logs like this. So as I told you before, when leave this S3 bucket empty, then this kind of output can be printed in the console. If you have S3 bucket name, then you can put this data, JSON file, onto your own S3 bucket. But actually, we don't have any S3 bucket right now, so it's easy to print out the result here. So errors like undefined bucket name, then you can check every time of the execution. So when it is executed and what is transaction hash, and there's a latency in milliseconds. So it's about 2.1 seconds and 2.0 seconds like this. So every maybe 2 seconds, this execution happens, and you can check the transaction latency of Klaytn. That's it. It's very easy. And I will walk through another blockchain, Solana here. So actually the execution is the same. npm install and copy environment file, and also you can update these variables, and also you can execute this one. Then you can change. You can use this private key, and you can find also you can get Sol with this address and this URL. And also you can check the latency of the Solana. Okay. And as I told you before, there are also Klaytn repository. There are many sample apps like this. There are many examples written in Cable.js and Cable Java. So check out this repository, and you can see the real examples. I'm sorry. Okay, that's it. So you can scan this QR code, and you can see our Linktree page, and there are so many links there. So you can join anything you want. Okay, then I will walk through real examples of our transaction latency. I will share my screen again. Let's get him dirty. Just wait a minute to share my screen. Okay. Yeah, actually, I already cloned this repository. And let's go through the Klaytn first. Maybe the fonts are a little bit small. So, is it okay to see the characters, or do we need to increase more font size?
I think it's pretty clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. In this repository, there are many blockchain platforms like Avalanche, VNB, Alon, the EOS, all the things together. And as you can see, there are Klaytn TX latency measurement directory, and there's env file here. And copy this one. Oh, I think this is not the latest one. Okay. So in the latest file, you can see private keys are empty and the S3 bucket is also empty. So just copy this one to env. Yeah, then that's it. How about S3? Okay. Then just change your directory and npm install. It takes some time. Yeah, if you have any question, then just let me know. I have some chats here. Okay. Yeah, got it. Then I execute send text Klaytn, then you can find your new private key and just copy and paste here. And also you can run our faucet, copy this Klaytn address. And run faucet. And then you can also check your balance and the Klaytn scope. Yeah, we have 150 clay, and also you already copied the private key here, so I just execute one more time, and you can see the latency. Okay, right? So this is interval, so every 2 seconds it is executed. So you can see it's about 2 seconds, right? Okay, that's it. And also I will jump into the Solana case. Same here. Yeah, private key is empty, S3 bucket is empty. Then just copy this one to env and move directory to Solana and npm install. Okay, then node send this. You can find your private key and pin your private key, and then you can get your test solved. So you can check your transaction, and we got where's the address? Oh, yeah, we got one soul. So actually, I already put the private key. So just execute one more time, then you can see the transaction latency of Solana. Okay, so latency is here, right? Yeah. Great latency, right? This is just for the, the test net. So you can easily get tokens for the test net, but for the mainnet, you need to buy your own tokens. So it's much more difficult to do that for this kind of hands-on session. So I just use the test nets for Klaytn and Solana together. Yeah, okay. So actually, this is the real code. We are using measurement, measuring the transaction latency for all other blockchain platforms, but for the mainnet. So this result shows our, where is it? Yeah, can you see this Klaytn? Where is it? you can find many other resources, and there's a dashboard here. It makes a little bit more. It takes a little bit more time to gather the data, but you can see the what is it? Average transaction latency here. So we keep executing all the transactions on many different blockchain platforms every minute, and we keep executing those things together. So you can check out this dashboard for the latest data. Okay, it needs some more time. Okay, I think that's it. I towards everything I want to discuss. So if you have any other questions, then just let me know, and we can take our Q&A sessions after on. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Colin. If you guys have any questions, we'll open up the floor. Just request to unmute. I can unmute you, or you can just share your question in the chat as well.
I will keep sharing my screen until this latency chart shown. Yeah. Right. Great. Yeah. Almost similar, right? Every time you can check this dashboard, and you can see the transaction latency between all other blockchain platforms. And also you can check not the only transaction latency, there are some standard deviation of the blockchain platforms like this. And also ping time, which means that the transaction execution time, just a simple API call latency, and also their fee. Actually, this is kind of crypto winter. You can see their fees are very cheap. We need 2 more decimal. Yeah, but okay. Thank you, and I will start my screen sharing. And if you have other questions, just let me know.
Thank you for the presentation, Colin. It was obviously a pleasure to have you and Klaytn come present. For anyone who wants to follow up, we'll have this presentation recorded, the whole video recorded, and we'll share it in the Discord channels. So yeah, and you can always reach out to the team for questions. So yeah, if anyone has any questions now, you can ask them. But other than that, we can probably wrap up. There is a survey that should pop up on your screen under Zoom, if you guys could fill it out. Yeah, it looks like we don't have any more questions. So again, thank you, Colin. It was great seeing your face again online. And we'll be talking soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah, have a great day.